coming around my door. Oh no, the lights been out though, baby.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world.
Oh! Great! Hey, you guys. Hey, there. Hey, man. So you guys going to the party?
No, it's not for me.
Come on, Paul, lighten up, man. It's gonna be a great party.
Yeah.
Paul, life is for enjoying. Come on with us, man. Come on.
Look, you guys, we're seniors. You guys act like it's the end of the world. We're going on our mission soon anyway. You guys in less than a year, so what's the big deal? You're running out of time, Paul.
That's exactly why I'm not going.
Dude, how do I turn this crap off?
Give me a break.
Hold on, I'm gonna call him.
You're gonna call Wilson?
Yeah, he's playing music on my computer. I'm not touching this.
That's not you?
No, I'm not playing this. He's playing it on his own. This is ridiculous. Hello? Dude, Wilson, what are you doing? Stop. I'm serious. Stop. Yeah, you know what you're doing.
Wilson, it's 7:24. It's 7:24.
Dude, no, okay. Alright, well, if you don't know what you're doing, what's happening is you're playing your music and it's playing, because your Apple Music is connected to mine, it's playing on my device. Yes, it's playing on my device. I'm trying to do Mormon talk right now.
Are you coming?
Dude,
I don't know, you guys.
just try,
It's
seriously.
really not our kind of party, man.
Just turn it off for a second.
I
You don't
can't
have to
turn it
li-
off.
No, I'm telling Wilson. He doesn't have to listen to it right now. Just listen to music later.
Going to the party?
Dude, seriously, stop it.
Come on, Greg.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, why don't we
Thanks,
go to the
Wilson.
party for just a few
No,
minutes?
dude. It's still playing, dude. This is ridiculous.
on, it's no
I'm trying to
big
do my
deal.
show and everyone's
Come on,
watching.
you know what kind of party this is gonna be like.
What the? Dude, what is this trash? Dude!
There you go.
It's crazy. What is he doing?
Wilson.
Dude, alright. Yeah. Okay, it stopped. No, dude, that's super stupid. Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, so you were just playing your music and it was just not playing through your device and you didn't know anything about it. You just on mine. Okay.
You didn't notice no music was coming through?
Okay. Alright.
Live
from Lehi, Utah. You are watching Mormon Talk with Carson O. Kimball and Brett O'Call.
So stupid. Hello, everyone. Sorry we are back. We hope you're still there.
Okay, so Wilson did some tech support over the weekend, and he seemed to have connected Carson's computer here with his account or something, and so our stuff was. I don't even know what was going on.
So what was happening is he was working. He was installing more memory on my computer because I don't know how to do computer stuff for all, but he's very good at it. And so he's on here and he what was I going to say? He connected his Apple Music to mine, and so he's literally at my parents' house, and he's playing his music, and it's playing through my computer, and it was very inappropriate, and I really hope none of it came through. Okay.
Well, first of all, we hope that the issue is fixed. We spent a lot of time. We restarted the computer a few times, and I think it fixed the issue.
I think so too. But I think we're choppy. Someone asks, is Wilson an ex-Mo? No, Wilson's my younger brother. No one in my immediate family are ex-Mormon. Okay, you know what?
Is anyone in your family ex-Mo?
No, not that I know of.
Yeah.
No, not that I know of. I mean, your dad, but he was never really active in the first place. But
my dad's an interesting case.
Yeah. Either way, okay, let's go ahead and... hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson O'Kimball.
Hello, this is Randy.
Hello, Randy. Can you talk up a little bit just to make sure?
Let me address the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Right,
is there sound?
The Twitter business with what's his name? Wesley. What's your brother's name?
Wilson?
Yeah.
Leslie. No, it's Wilson.
Yeah, so Wilson on Twitter.
Okay.
He wrote a very rough and tumble tweet that says spell iCup.
Well.
So in my household, it's and for the viewers at home, do not spell iCup.
Okay, well if you thought it was so wrong, which it is, why are you saying this in front of all the families, dude?
Because here's the thing, I spelled it in the living room in front of my dad, and then my dad beat me.
Well, Wilson did apologize. He didn't do it publicly, but he did say he was sorry for his actions. He's kind of on a rampage lately. I feel like he's getting a little bit more rebellious as he's getting a little bit older.
I think it's ever since I got married. Ever since I got married, Wilson has been nonstop trying to get my attention, and he spilled bean water on my keyboard. Even though he came here to fix my computer, he spilled bean water on my keyboard, and some of the keys don't function anymore. And he was just playing filthy music. He was playing Weird Al, which is just trash music, while I'm trying to stream Mormon Talk.
I've heard this one song. It was called Mormon Paradise. Very offensive.
No, it's talking about Amish people, and it's a filthy song, and it has a lot of innuendos, and we are not tolerant of that. But anyway, okay. What else, Randy? Do you have any questions about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints?
I do.
Okay.
So what's latter mean?
Latter means later on.
Yeah. So like.
All right, thank you.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm glad that cleared that up.
Right.
That's the only question.
Okay, well, wonderful. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson.
And Brett, hello. Can you hear us?
Is this Mormon Talk?
Yes, you're on the air.
This is Mormon Talk.
Hi.
Hello, welcome to the show. Do you have a question for us, caller?
I guess, like, if my brother, if he wants to do bad things, what should I tell him to do?
Well, not bad things. That's first and foremost.
Right. So what I would do is I'd say, hey, would you like to go?
He likes to go in dark rooms with my dog alone, and like a jar of peanut butter.
Okay.
Well, don't allow him to do that. You know.
Well, hold on. I'm not understanding you.
What was that?
I don't.
You said he's doing bad things.
I don't think we understand.
I don't. So.
I don't think we should understand.
Hang on. He's getting the dog in the peanut butter again. Hang on.
Okay, I don't understand what that was about.
He's gonna go stop him.
But from what?
Hello, caller. You are live on the air with Brett O'Call.
And Carson O'Kimball. Welcome to Mormon Talk, the one and only place on the internet where you can speak to Carson and Brett and ask us questions about our religion or maybe even some life advice. So go ahead, caller.
All right, I need to tell you something.
Randy.
Urgent.
We're gonna move on.
I said we're gonna be hard on these people. And so we're moving on. Hello,
we
caller.
gotta get
You're
hard
the
on
air
Randy
with Carson
and Brett. Sorry.
Hello, Carson. Hello, Brett. This is Brother Flick. How are you guys doing?
Hello, Brother Flick. How are you? We're doing fantastic.
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm actually on vacation right now. I'm at the Lake of the Ozarks here in Missouri.
Really?
I'm spending time with my best friend and his wife, and we are going kayaking. We're going sand doing and everything like that. It's
wow,
been a blast
cool.
so far.
Well, just the three of you. It's really nice of him to include you on a trip with just his wife, because I know how wives can be about that. I mean, I've tried to. Well, Brett and his wife, or Brett has invited me on trips when it was just he and his wife, and well, I'll just say that. I think that her expectations were different, but regardless, wonderful. Do you have a question for us, caller? We're sticking to questions about our faith, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or maybe even life advice. We're sticking to questions.
Life advice, I would actually just say this because my friend, he's my best friend. His name's Devin. And I've known him since I was 16 years old, and we're actually on his lake house right now here in the Lake of the Ozarks. And I told him that I was wanting to make a special time. I'm actually using his phone right now. That's why I called with an unknown number, because my phone is currently charging right now. And I told him I actually.
Oh, great! Well, go ahead. Let's hear your question. I'm excited to hear it.
Well, it's not really a question. It's something I wanted to share. So my best friend's wife, her name is Jessica. She has her master's degree in culinary arts. She's literally like a 5-star chef. And,
excellent.
Tonight we had also I'm bettering myself right now. I am actually on a new diet called the OMAD. I don't know if you heard
the
about
one
this,
meal a day
OMAD.
diet. Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. You know what I'm talking about, Carson. Yes, absolutely. So I've been trying that, and so far I've been trying it for about a month and a half now, and I've already lost 15 pounds within the first trial of this diet. So anyways, tonight we had at my friend's lake house here in the Ozarks, we had some pork-style rib barbecues.
So do you have a question if you should be on the diet?
Well, yeah, exactly. And also something about
okay, I think that Brett is a really good health expert. So let's hear what you got to say, Brett.
Well, I've attempted this one meal a day diet myself, and for some people it does produce fantastic results. And so if it was producing fantastic results for you, I think maybe that's something you gotta stick with. Me personally, I'm doing an all meat diet right now, and that is just working out fantastically. And it's basically become an OMAD diet because I barely need to eat anymore. Eat meat sparingly. I only have to eat once a day, and it's not too much, but it's all meat, and I'm doing fantastic. So maybe that's something you could look into, Brother Flick, because it's really worked wonders for me. It might not work for you, but keep your mind open to that.
Absolutely. And there's one thing I want to share real quick. There's something
we're just sticking to questions for now. I'm so sorry. We just got to keep the ball rolling. We've got, what do we have, 8 calls right now waiting. So thank you for calling in, and thank you for your question.
Well, definitely, no problem. Maybe next time I can call in, because I learned something new about...
Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson.
And Brett. Welcome to Mormon Talk.
Mormon Talk.
Oh, is that a familiar voice I hear?
Yeah, it is. What's up?
Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson O'Kimball.
Oh, hello.
Brett.
Is this Mormon Talk? Am I in the right place?
You are on the air with Mormon Talk. Brett and Carson.
Thank you for welcoming me on the air. So, I just had a quick question. I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. I know that you guys have been, trying to get through this tonight. So,
great.
So it requires a little explanation, but I promise I do have a question. I'm not messing with you. So, I was out with my wife the other night, right? And we've been married for about 10 years now, and she was raised Catholic and I was raised Mormon, right? So, she's still practicing Catholic and I'm still practicing Mormon, and it's difficult because I know that's a little unorthodox, I know, but she wants to open up the relationship, and I'm not really comfortable with that. Do you guys have any advice for kind of talking her out of this? Again, I don't want to open up the relationship.
Open up the relationship, like communicate more? What are you talking about?
No. She wants to have. I don't know how to put this appropriately. She wants to have relations with other men.
And
no.
Stay married to you? That is completely ludicrous. That's I've been saying that about Catholicism for a long time. It's something that they don't know what they're doing anymore. That is no longer.
It's wrong. And in a religion like that, I'm sorry to any people that practice Catholicism. It might not teach that type of thing directly, but the teachings of that church lead to it.
It definitely leads to it.
It leads
it's
to it.
The old slippery slope, as they say.
Sharing a wine, sharing a communal cup. Okay, sharing wine with the same cup with everyone. Or even I don't know, just even that one thing, just everyone, there's no boundary of this is my cup and maybe I'll share it with my wife because we have the same germs or something. But no, everyone joining in on one cup, and I just think that's wrong, and I really think that you should put your foot down and say, hey, we are going to keep our marriage sanctified, and we're not going to add any inappropriate and frankly selfish relations with other people, because that is absolutely and disgustingly it.
Well said.
Well, hey, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I'm going to talk to her. This has really built me up. So
give her.
Have a good night. And I want to stop my wife from fucking other men. I don't.
Hello, caller. You are live on the air with Brett.
Carson, welcome.
Oh, is this
to
is this Mormon Talk?
Yeah.
This is Mormon Talk.
We're sticking
live on the air.
Questions about our faith, or maybe even if you need life advice. So go ahead, caller.
I have a question about the Mormon religion in general.
Okay.
So are the teachings there similar to Christianity?
Yes, in fact, they are
Christianity.
They are Christianity. It's the most complete form of Christianity on the planet. So.
Wait, so because what I was taught in the Catholic faith is that if you're gay, you go to hell. This is a dead serious joke. So is that the same in the Mormon religion too?
if you're gay, you go to no.
So how does that correlate to Catholicism?
Well, something. I don't know if you heard the previous call. It was a prank call, but the caller brought up Catholicism, and I don't know if he was sincere in his wife's desire to have relations outside of the marriage, but whether he was sincere or not, a lot of people that practice Catholicism, do have kind of loose morals like that. They don't really, adhere to any doctrine. It seems, they're kind of just going off on their own and kind of making up their own compass of morality. They're like, oh, well, I think this is a good thing. So it's going to be good. It's going to be true because I want it to be true, and because of that, there's a lot of sin that has entered into the practice of Catholicism and other religions, especially Christ-based religions and others. So keep that in mind when you consider what other religions may say or what they may do, because there is a lot of room for
and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about during the second half of the show tonight. This is perfect. These questions, the sincere questions that have been asked, are perfect, and they. I hope that the askers of those questions will stick around to the end, because there's a wonderful discussion waiting to be had. But anyway, caller, do you have anything else that you would like to ask us before you go?
Yeah, it's just one more question. Or it's more like, yeah, it's a question.
Okay, go ahead.
George Floyd is a nigger.
We are, unfortunately, if anybody else says N, that might be the end of the show tonight. We do not want N around here. We don't want any racial slurs beyond just N. And so if it is said again, you're forcing our hand. We have to stop. We have to protect the families and innocents that are watching.
Absolutely, well said, Brett, and we mean it. This is not play. This is not a play sentence that he just said. We're not playing around. We are ready to enforce the law. Mm-hmm. But anyway, hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson
and Brett.
Welcome to Mormon Talk.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
I heard Brock is single. Do you think he'd be interested in talking to me?
Are you older than 18?
I'm just kidding. Jack's a stupid fucking bitch.
Brock is a nice young boy, okay? He doesn't deserve the hatred that he's gotten on this show. We've tried to bring him on, and he normally never shows the side that you guys have seen. He's never shown much anger or frustration.
You guys have brought that out on him.
You guys have definitely, brought something out of him that is just vile, and it spreads. When he's around and you guys are triggering him and you guys are berating him, guess what? We can feel his vileness, and it makes us feel the same way,
Yeah, and we feel just, and Brock, I'll be honest, he takes it out on Brett and I after the show and sometimes during. And so we're not going to allow that type of thing anymore. But anyway, hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson O'Kimball.
And Brett O'Call. Welcome to Mormon Talk.
Hello, gentlemen. This is Frank. How are you doing? Peace and love.
Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and be straight up.
Peace and love, Frank.
Frank with you. I'm not doing the greatest. We've been trying to keep things together. Even if Brett and I grew tentacles and we reached out our tentacles and tried to fix everything all at once, it wouldn't be enough because there's just filth and filth always finds a way to seep in.
Filth and technical error and bean water.
Before I get to my question, I just have a statement and hope I don't know this will help.
Go ahead.
But this filth, it's horrible. I'm not going to mince words, doggone it. But it is no reflection on you, gentlemen, as you stand tall and stay and keep it in there. You're not pulling out. I know it's hard, but you guys just don't pull out. And I admire your strength. I just wanted to let you know that before I get to my question.
Well, it's hard for me to accept that because, if somebody says something racially charged again, like we heard a few callers ago, then we are gonna have to pull out. We're gonna have to just.
I understand completely.
YouTube's gonna ban us first of all. Which may be for the better for, all the families that think that this is, a good place to be. We're trying our best to make it that way. I'm sorry. I'm going off.
No, I understand. And, you have every right. I just want to let you guys know that I have never, that this filth is not a reflection on you. I just want you to know that. You gentlemen are the real deal. Here's my question, and it came up when I heard perhaps Wilson was spamming email. Well, earlier today, I log on to my computer, and I'm going to go. I partake of the sacrament, and when I do that, I like to watch the Hosanna shout. It's a lot. It's just very faith promoting. So I log on to my computer, and it's Pornhub, and Spanky had, I don't know, just rerouted things, and he just thought that was funny. And how do I tell him how inappropriate that is, and how he's going down the path of pagan again, Carson?
You know what, Win?
How do I help him?
Well, you can only win if you. How do I say this? There's web block programs,
right?
And if you set up those programs, it'll make it impossible for Spanky to even to type that in and to even reach a site like that,
And you can, with those programs, they have an alarm system where if something, if any filth is trying to be brought up upon the computer, be it through pop-ups or some user typing in terrible words. An alarm will sound, an extremely loud alarm that you can't deafen until you, the administrator of that program, you turn the alarm off.
Right, and on your phone you'll receive a notification. It'll tell you which device Spanky's trying to get into filth with, and so the internet's a dangerous place. It's not even just the P that
satanic.
It's not. Someone could be playing a game like. World of Warcraft, which is a terrible, terrible game, obviously, because it's a video game to start with. But in addition to that, there are people that hang out in games like that, or Club Penguin, or whatever.
Predators.
Predators, and they hang out like as a character sitting on the streets, and someone will be passing by, and they'll walk up to them and type a message and say, "Hey, do you want to come to a chat room with me?" And then it leads them to filth. But with a program like this, you can block the way. So when that predator tries to lead Spanky into a dark room on the internet with them, guess what? The room will be locked for Spanky, and he won't be able to get in. And you'll be alerted, and you can go rescue Spanky and maybe unplug his electronics.
Yeah.
I sent him to the ranch, and I thought it helped, and it's a trying time, gentlemen. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to share something so personal, but I'll get through it. I want to thank you guys, and thank you for taking my question.
Time is what Spanky needs at the ranch. A couple days of hard work will really dig into him, but you're not going to get what you want out of him until you give him a lot of time. You know, send him down to the ranch, work him hard. You know, but you got to break him.
Yeah.
You know,
I
there's
think I had
a
him
breaking
release that
point.
grip too soon. He released the grip too soon. You're right, Brett.
Uh-huh.
I appreciate that bit of advice, gentlemen, and peace and love to you.
Peace and love.
Let's have a clean evening.
Thank you so much.
Goodbye.
Yes.
I concur. We'll maybe take one more call and then we'll go on break. But anyway, hello caller. You're on the air with Carson
and Brett. Welcome to Mormon Talk. Caller, you are live on the air.
Praise to the man who commune with Jah.
Hello caller. You're on the air with Carson
and Brett. Welcome to Mormon Talk.
Hey, I'm really curious what you think of Blackwater buying Ancestry.com.
Blackwater. I'm not aware. Ancestry.com is being bought out.
Yeah, it's been sold to Blackwater.
What's Blackwater?
I'm not 100% sure. I believe I know it's associated somehow with U.S. intelligence agencies, and I'm mostly just wondering what you think of them buying it out, because I know that the LDS community has probably contributed almost all of Ancestry's information.
Yeah, a massive portion of it. I think that, that's... Geez, I don't know what to say. I don't know enough about it, but it seems like a very
I'm actually really
nefarious thing.
surprised that you didn't know about it.
No, I'm quite busy with family, and during this coronavirus pandemic, I've been trying to just kind of quarantine from electronics too. Because anyway, yeah. So well, wonderful.
That's definitely something that we need to look into. But thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Yes, wonderful question.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be watching next week if you look into it, if you want to mention it.
Okay,
Perfect.
well, wonderful.
Perfect.
Well, thank you very much, and you have a wonderful night. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson O'Kimball.
And Brett O'Call. Welcome to Mormon Talk.
Hey guys, it's Ben from Twitter.
Hello, Ben. How are you doing tonight?
How are you guys tonight?
Well, a little bit better. The last couple calls have been good.
Sincere.
And we know that this one will be too, and it'll be a great note to end on before we go on our break.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad I caught you just before a break. I haven't been able to tune in tonight, so just stopping by. Hey,
Thank you.
I don't know if you guys...
It looks like he hung up.
Maybe he got disconnected. He said he wasn't able to tune in. He might have been driving or something.
Okay.
All right. Well, is that break time?
Ben, please call in after the break. That was hiccup.
We're really looking forward to your call.
Please call in.
Please.
I will add. Please. We need your calls. And for all the families that are watching, please call. Please have your children call. Anything that's family friendly and safe. Please.
Any questions they may have.
Please do that. But anyway, after the break, we're going to go ahead and talk about our special topic of the night. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The mic wasn't on. That was really funny. We said a lot of funny stuff. But I was basically trying to make a prank or a joke and basically pretend like, you know, we're back. But I don't know anymore about this stupid microphones. But anyway, hello everyone and welcome back to Mormon Talk. Sorry we had a quickie that turned into a longie so to speak. But we are back to the show. Anyway, so this second hour, we are no longer taking general calls. But as you can see right here, we have an alert box. And it says, what does it say, Brett?
Topic of the night is eternal truth.
Serious calls only, please. But tonight, Brett and I were talking about, well, what do we want to talk about on Mormon Talk? Because here's the deal. We things have gotten so off track, and last week was absolutely the worst.
Bananas.
It was the absolute. It was literally just picture it like this: Mormon Talk was covered in just jelly and thrown into an African anthill, and just.
That's a good way to describe it.
It's graphic, but that was as bad as it was. And so, sorry, Brett's daughter's a little cranky right now. But
yeah, it's pretty late for her. But Monday night, she doesn't get to go to sleep until
after the show.
Until we get home.
But anyway, so we decided to bring back our topics. So that is our topic, everyone. And we're going to go ahead and open up the phone lines. But before we do, I just want to read a couple things.
Well, I thought there was a video that you wanted to show.
For the children? Yeah, I will be showing the video for the children.
Excellent.
For sure.
Excellent.
Not right right now we're going to discuss a little bit. But so what is divine truth?
Yes.
What is divine truth? So truth, God's truth, the truth that God teaches, has existed for all eternity and can never change, will always be true. Divine principles are the laws by which the universe has and forever will only be governed by. We cannot make truth. We cannot make anything up and decide what is true or not. Truth exists independently of Brett or myself or you or your friends or family or anyone or your pets. It has existed before the very foundation of the earth and even before the foundation of the earth. And so we want to discuss that because it just seems to me like we see a lot of people reacting badly to things that are true. More and more as days go by in our modern society, things that are true and good are starting to become viewed as bad because it offends people. It makes them feel just
like a little bit of pain, you know,
like a prick.
Yeah.
And that's actually how the scriptures describe it. But anyway, I want to go ahead and just kind of go over a couple things. And here we go. Just some notes that Brett and I wrote down.
We wanted to stay on topic. You know, we don't want to get distracted.
So truth, how do we know truth? How do we actually receive truth? Well, knowledge is gained by obedience. It comes by obedience to the laws and ordinances of the gospel. In the ultimate and full sense, it comes only by revelation from the Holy Ghost. There are some things a sinful man or woman cannot and does not know. The Lord's people are promised, by the power of the Holy Ghost, ye may know the truth of all things. But if they do not seek the Spirit, if they do not accept the revelations God has given, if they cannot distinguish between the revealed word and the theories of man, they have no promise of gaining a fullness of truth by the power of the Holy Ghost. Well, with that, let's go ahead and open up the phone lines and maybe hear what some people have to say. Hello, caller. Welcome to our discussion about divine truth. I'm Carson O'Kimball.
And I am Brett O'Call. Welcome to Mormon Talk.
This is the devil. I have come to
This is not the devil. For any children listening, that is not the devil. It's just some prankster. Hello, caller. You are live on the air with Brett O'Call.
And Carson O'Kimball. Welcome to our live discussion about eternal truth. Do you have a question?
Yeah. I want to make a comment about the subject.
Okay, we'll go ahead, caller. Or Randy, frankly.
I have a question,
And this had better not be a prank, Randy. Please, this had better not be a prank because
No.
We're gonna be harder. We're gonna be harder on this issue. We're not gonna be soft anymore.
I saw the tweet. All right. So, would it be racist if I said I hate people?
What?
Well, if I said that, would it be racist?
If said what? Sorry, I didn't hear you, caller.
No, you know what? Never mind.
It's probably racist.
Let's talk about eternal truth.
Yes, that's exactly what we're here for. And go ahead, please.
I think the best person to talk about this is a DJ Norman in the chat. He's always telling the truth in the live chat. You guys haven't read that in a while, but he's always telling the truth.
Well, that's not the type of truth we're talking about. So we're talking about the laws of the universe, frankly. being kind. We kind of think of that as like, oh, it's just something you should do. But really, kindness is an eternal principle that partially governs the universe. And I'm not saying that means human beings are kind because it's a law. I'm saying human beings, because we have our own free will, need to conform to kindness and to that principle and to obey that principle. And then we will come to know that that principle is true. And so, yeah, it's not just about telling what someone thinks is true. In fact, that's exactly what we're saying this is not. This is God's truth, not DJ Norman's truth or Carson O'Kimball's truth or Brett O'Call's truth.
Absolutely, but so if DJ Norman or one of you were to tell the truth, would that be the same as God's truth? Because if God tells the truth, if someone else tells the truth, that'd be like God's truth.
Right, exactly. But how do we know that that's true? Well, not if it just appeals to you and say, "Oh, that sounds true." That's not enough. You have to have the gift of the Holy Ghost, and the Holy Ghost is the Spirit of God. And the Spirit of God, in a way that words and people cannot confer, will confer that the truth of a statement or the divinity of Jesus Christ, for instance, to you directly, and you won't be able to. You'll know the difference. So yeah, good question. For once, frankly, Randy, good question.
Thank you,
All right,
Randy.
thank you. I really tried to change, and I just want to say that I talked to my parents about sending me to the ranch, and we want to start a GoFundMe to send me to the ranch.
I thought you already went to the ranch, Randy.
No, I have not been to the ranch. That was a lie, obviously, because I was flashing the show, but I have not been to the ranch yet.
See, that's an example of not truth.
Exactly.
And we fell for the bait.
The only reason I didn't tell God's truth was because I wasn't. I couldn't release myself from the grip of Satan and rough and tumble language, so.
Well, it sounds like you haven't used any in this call, so thank you, Randy, and we're going to go ahead and move on.
We'd love to have another call like that, Randy. Next time on next week on the show.
I'm sad to say that was the first. Hello, caller. You're on the air with C. Kimball
and B. Call. Welcome to Mormon Talk,
and welcome to our live discussion.
Hi, I called earlier.
Okay.
I called earlier, and I just want to apologize for my disgusting choice of words. I know you guys get splashed a lot, and I just want to apologize. Part of making it right is just really formally apologizing. I want to apologize to you guys and to Brock for, again, my disgusting choice of words. What I really meant to say was Brock's a stupid-ass fucking retard.
Just hang her up. She needs to be hung up. Hello, caller. You are live on the air with Brett O'Call.
And Carson O'Kimball. Welcome to Mormon Talk and our live discussion about eternal truth, and that's all we're discussing. But go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hello, caller. You are live on the air with Brett O'Call.
And Carson O'Kimball, welcome to Mormon Talk and to our live discussion about eternal truth. Do you have a question or something you'd like to discuss, caller?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
We're all ears.
Okay. Well, when you call in, make sure you're ready to go. Hello, caller.
Frog
you're on the
in
air
their throat, maybe.
with Carson
and Brett. Welcome to Mormon Talk and our discussion about eternal truth.
Oh, well, thank you very much, guys. Hey, this is Jason, but I go by Dr. Shades on the internet.
I feel like we just reached an oasis in a big giant desert. Hello and welcome back to the show, Dr. Shades.
Well, thank you. You know, that's the nicest thing anyone said to me all day. I appreciate you guys. And your show is a bit of an oasis in the desert for me, too, because this is the one place I can go to be spiritually uplifted, since we can't attend sacrament meeting in person anymore.
We can both lap
So,
one another up
you know,
then. And
yes, let's do that. And, you know, I'm glad that the topic is about eternal truth, because there are very few eternal truths that are more truthful or eternal than that which is in the scriptures. And so in my scripture study this past week, I came across something that kind of confused me a little bit. So I don't really know what to make of it, and I'm kind of hoping you guys can give me some additional insight.
Wonderful.
Can I start?
The baseball mitts are on, and we're ready to take the ball.
Okay, great. Well, anyways, in Doctrine and Covenants 132, which is, of course, the very famous revelation about plural marriage, the very first and second verses, I'll go as quick as I can here, says, Verily, thus saith the Lord unto you, my servant Joseph, that inasmuch as you have inquired of my hand to know and understand wherein I, so on and so forth, justified my servants Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, blah, blah, blah. Behold, and lo, I am the Lord thy God, and will answer thee as touching this matter. Okay, so Joseph, he goes to the Lord in prayer, asking about how they were justified having plural wives, and the Lord answers and provides this revelation. But then if you move on down to, oh gosh, I think I just lost it.
When you're reading, can you read a little bit slower for me?
I'm reading it, and it says, verse number 52. If you skip towards the end there, it says, "And let mine handmaid Emma Smith receive all those that have been given unto my servant Joseph, who are virtuous and pure before me," and so forth. So I really tripped me up there about the chronology of that, because how can women have been given unto Joseph if he, prior to him asking the Lord if it's okay to receive such women? So first off, he receives, women are given unto Joseph, and then he asks if it's okay. I don't see how that works. That seems like a contradiction in eternal truth, and I'm hoping you guys can help me resolve this confusion I have.
Well, I think God may have tested him. I think it was a test to see if Joseph would partake in something that he didn't think was right, or he didn't know was right at the time. And so Joseph, in his intelligence, asked the Lord, what's going on here, and the Lord answered.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll just kind of, I think Brett's completely right. I think the Lord prompted Joseph to do this a long time before Joseph straight up had to just be like, all right, that is it. I really need to know what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when I forget who it was, but in the Old Testament, was it Adam? Someone was making offerings on an altar, and like they'd pour the blood over the head of the animal and stuff like that. And then someone asked, well, why are you doing this? And he said, I don't know, except that the Lord asked me to do it. And so sometimes I think if you're sensitive enough to the Spirit, like Joseph absolutely was, the Spirit can tell you to do things that you don't quite understand yet. But I think when Joseph received that revelation that made it into the Doctrine and Covenants, it's when he formally said, all right, Lord, it's time that I have the end-all, be-all answer, and I'm putting it in the Doctrine and Covenants. Let's do this.
Oh, well, that's really interesting. So when the Lord gave Joseph Smith these women, and he was expected to take them for wives or practice polygamy, and he didn't know why, how did he know that he was supposed to do that, though, instead of just ignoring
sensitivity
them?
of the Spirit?
Yeah, exactly. It's just the
so letting them find the husbands.
It's the Spirit, you know what I mean? So maybe okay. Sometimes, like for instance, I was driving my car one time, and the Spirit told me to switch lanes, and I was like, but I'm going to be turning right up ahead. Why am I getting to the left lane? but I did anyway. And lo and behold, I was in the left lane, and I needed to stay in the left lane, and I switched to the right lane because the Spirit told me to, and I was like, why am I in the right lane? But nevertheless, I did it, and lo and behold, a big 16-wheeler was dipping into over the two yellow lines, and if I would have stayed in that left lane, I would have had a head-on collision with a trucker, and we all know who would win in that collision. And so,
oh my gosh,
I didn't know why. And so Joseph, obviously, if he were prompted to take these other women under his wing, I'm sure he was like thinking the same thing. Like, why am I switching lanes right now? Why am I switching lanes from Emma's lane? And so, but later on, if you are faithful, the Lord will say, hey, well, this is why I asked you to do it. You were obedient and you were faithful, and you did it without being an unwise and slothful servant and needing to be commanded in all things, but rather you listened to my still small voice, and you will be blessed for it. And so will Emma, and so will all of your wives. And so, yeah.
And that brings up a great point about attunement. When we live pure, we can hear the Spirit. If we're living in sin, if we're not taking care of our bodies, if we're not taking care of our minds, we can't hear the Spirit. The Spirit will be knocking at a door that is never going to be answered because you can't hear it. You're in the back room playing loud, rambunctious music, and eating terrible things and doing drugs, and the Spirit's knocking, trying to tell you, hey, you know what? It's time to take another wife, but you're never going to hear that. So, and
oh, wow.
Joseph was in tune with the Spirit. He was a man that really, really understood that, and that's what we look up to.
Absolutely. Wow. So, Jason, do you think we might have helped you get on a better path with that question?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I hadn't really, thought of it that way, that, that he was inspired by the Spirit to take multiple wives without even knowing how or why. But, and then he later on asked, what's going on. I actually get it now. So, that does make a lot of sense. We can, and like Brett said, we can be thankful that Joseph Smith was open to the Spirit, so he knew to take these women as extra wives, as opposed to saying, hey, look, you need to marry someone else, or, I'm already married, or something like that.
Right.
So that's a great insight. So, yeah, hey, thanks. Thanks. I knew when I called on you guys that you guys would resolve this concern for me. I just knew that no matter how, I tried to think of what you guys might say, but I was drawing a blank, and sure enough, you pulled through for me like you always do.
Well, wonderful.
Thank goodness for Mormon Talk.
Yes, thank you for your
Carson,
call.
I am so glad that you followed the prompting of the Spirit, because if you had that head-on collision, then think of all the people you would not have been able to reach, and think of all the good that would not have been done in this world thanks to you and Mormon Talk. So Thank goodness.
He's affecting so many right now.
Exactly. And you know what? Another thing is this, and before you go, I just want to say, just like Joseph did, truth can be as small as a tiny little seed. And the only way that we can really know if it is true is if we plant that seed and we water it and we take care of it. And then if it brings forth a good tree, it bears good fruit, you will know that it is a true principle. And so for all the children that are watching and all the families and frankly everyone, I do have a little video that I would like to show that illustrates this. So thank you, Dr. Shades, and I hope everyone, especially the families out there, will enjoy this video illustrating what we've been talking about.
Great. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
We're tired of your preaching. Go home.
Take your lies somewhere else.
We want nothing to do with Jesus Christ.
Elma, I know that... Please, Elma. Tell us what to do.
Blessed are you, all of you, for now you are ready to have faith in Jesus Christ.
Elma, to be honest, I don't think I can have faith in such a thing. I'm a simple farmer.
The first time you planted a seed, Benjamin, did you expect it to grow?
I hoped it would.
And now you never worry about such things. You know the seed will grow.
If I do my part, the seed will grow, yes.
Faith in Jesus Christ is no different. Except now you're not planting a seed of corn or of wheat, but a seed of faith deep in your heart.
The word is a seed. Plant the seed in your heart. Plant with faith, oh, plant it deep. The seed will swell, and the swelling will tell it is good, and the fruit will be sweet. A sprouting will start, and your soul will enlarge, and your mind will open and grow. The light of the sun, the light of all life will warm you, and then you will know the word is true, the word is good, the work of God.
Down the heartache.
Okay. So, you okay? A sneeze.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, anyway. Sorry, I'm a little bit.
It's a great video. Unfortunately, it didn't play all the way through.
But I think that the parts that did play probably got. I hope that everyone was able to get something out of that.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to understand. It's made for children. So if you didn't understand it, you could look up "Seed Song" on YouTube.
Hello, and you're on the air with C. Kimball.
And B. Call. Welcome to Mormon Talk and our
Hello?
discussion of eternal truth. How are you doing tonight?
So I was wondering, how do we know that we don't live in hell right now? How do we know that this life isn't hell?
Why don't you go on your knees and ask the Lord? That's how you can know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and now I'm on my knees. What do I do now?
So you pray and you ask your Heavenly Father sincerely, not just saying the words. You got to be sincere, and say, Heavenly Father, I please
help me understand.
Help me understand. Let me know if I'm in hell.
How do I know what the answer will be? What will tell me what the answer is?
Have you never prayed before?
Yes, but I never received an answer with a direct signal. I want to be more clear.
Well, okay, that's exactly what we're talking about. It's a still small voice, and I think Brett might have touched on this on your scenario, maybe, and that is, is there anything that you're doing in your life that might be inhibiting the Spirit of God, which can only dwell in clean temples, Your body is a temple. Is there anything that you're doing that's inhibiting the Spirit of God from being able to come through? Are you gaming?
Oh, yes, I understand now. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, okay. Excellent. I'm glad that...
Brock is very sexy. Thank you.
Hello, caller. You are live on the air. This is a serious talk show, and we accept serious calls only, and we are discussing eternal truth. I am Brett O'Call.
And I'm Carson O'Kimball, and welcome to the show, as long as you're here in good faith. But go ahead, caller.
I understand now. Thank you.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air. Caller, you're on the air with C. Kimball.
And B. Call. This is your chance. Okay. Hello, caller. You are live on the air with Brett O'Call.
And Carson O'Kimball.
Hi.
Welcome to our discussion.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Wait a minute. Did you call in earlier tonight? Because if you did, we have to hang up because...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. I'm not that girl. I promise.
Okay. Well, wonderful. Go ahead and welcome to our discussion about eternal truth.
Okay. So, this is all going to come in, I promise. This is serious. But, what is your guys' view, on the use of marijuana?
It's pretty easy.
Yeah. So, this book that's in the background, it's been looming in the background. I actually wrote about marijuana in my book. And what I basically wrote, if I were going to sum it up, is when you are under the influence of smoking it, not only are you not attuned to the Spirit, but you're literally opening up, you could think of it like a radio receptor straight to the devil, which is why a lot of the time when people are under the influence of smoking hemp, then they receive these crazy thoughts in their head, like, oh, life doesn't matter, everything is fine, there's no, or, oh, I'm a gnome or an elf or a machine elf trying to talk to you, and here's the truth. No, it's all baloney, and it's just opening up a channel for Satan to deceive you. So when you're having a toke of marijuana, that's what you're doing. You're basically saying, goodbye, Heavenly Father. Hello, Satan. Please tell me whatever you want to tell me, and I'll be in this vulnerable state of frankly being dumb, and I'll listen.
And
I recently just got introduced to marijuana.
Well, unintroduce yourself.
Okay. Well, I kind of love to get high though, and I'm not trying to let it become a big issue. But when I am high, I really do feel like I'm connected to the universe.
It's already a big issue.
Sense, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I'm talking to the devil. I really feel like I have
that's exactly
even
what
greater connection with God.
The devil doesn't want you to think.
Wait, let me chime in. Lucifer is roughly translated to light bringer, bringer of light. His light is the false light. Lucifer seems in all of his devious ways, Lucifer seems as if he's bringing truth. And to tie it back into eternal truth, Lucifer's truth is false. It is not truth, but it is appealing. It is tempting. It is something that when you're doing something bad, it feels really good. And that's Lucifer's light. That's Lucifer's dark light.
Absolutely. It's like a fishing lure, when you're a fish swimming around and you see that shiny neon yellow fish swimming around, you're like, woo, well, you know what? I've been warned by my parents not to deal with this stuff, but look at that. That is so gorgeous. I'm just going to go ahead and follow it and just see where it goes. And then eventually you're hooked. You're addicted to marijuana, but that's not even the biggest issue. The biggest issue is that you're toking it anyway. I
think other people have way worse addictions. Have you seen the lady on My Strange Addiction where she eats toilet paper? I'm not doing crack, my guy.
I think that eating toilet paper is better than smoking marijuana.
No, it's not. I promise you, it's not. I've tried both. But when it comes to crack and all that and cocaine,
I'm sure that's way worse than marijuana. You know what I'm saying?
This is
marijuana
Lucifer.
comes from the earth.
Listen
God
to me.
put that on the earth.
Child,
you know what I'm
listen
saying?
to me.
So why should I be persecuted for
Look onto your
high off of
look
marijuana,
onto your screen right now. What do you see? You see a light. You see the light bringer. This
Bro, that looks like that fish in Nemo.
That's what that is. That's exactly what that is. This is a deep sea representation of what you're experiencing right now. That light, that's marijuana. That's the gateway drug. That's why they call it a gateway drug.
That's a fish.
The things that you talked about.
No, the fish is dangling.
If I was doing edibles laced in crack,
Satan.
then that would be an issue.
Satan.
You get me?
Lure.
Marijuana. It's not
Satan
exactly
sets out his
drugs, you know what I'm
marijuana
saying? Like,
lure.
I'm looking at the chat, and I think Brandon made a point where marijuana was just reproved by the church. You know what I'm saying?
No, it was not. That's Belanki.
Satan sets out his marijuana lure. And when you bite, you're attracted to it. It's something, it's beautiful. Think about it. You're swimming in darkness, right? And you see this light. And you're like, "Oh my, that is so pretty. I need to go to it. I need to find it." But instead of making your own light, you're using somebody else's light. You're falling into the trap of Satan. And you take that light. Guess what?
I'm using my own light. I get my own lighter.
Satan.
Oh, okay, that's it.
Satan is sitting there in the darkness, waiting to bite. And when he bites, guess what? It's exactly as you've lined. Exactly like you lined out. You start with crack. Next you go to crack. You go to cocaine. You go to meth, heroin.
I'm not going to meth or heroin.
And
so,
even
like,
if you don't, even if you just keep toking
on the side of
on
the road,
hemp, then
I ain't never seen anybody who is upset. Like, you know what I'm trying to say, my guy?
How old are you?
People are out there really.
You're not even
dying,
old enough to
and you're gonna come
legally
over here
smoke
and condemn me for
cigarettes.
Smoking weed?
And here you are talking about smoking weed.
I have to ask you right now.
Where are your parents?
Are you under the influence right now?
No, I'm not, and that's fucked up that you'd even say that,
Okay,
my
that's
guy.
it.
We do not allow rough language. Please refrain, no
Hello?
matter how heated and pricked by truth you might be getting. Please do not use rough language at all. Refrain, please.
Mormon Talk?
Hello,
yes,
caller.
you are live on the air with Brett O'Call.
And C. Kimball, you're
Hi,
on Mormon
this
Talk.
is,
Welcome to the
this is
discussion.
Trevor Leahy.
Okay, well, welcome to the show, Trevor Leak.
Trevor Leahy.
Leahy.
Trevor Leahy, welcome to the show.
Yes. Thank you. Can you please say my name right? I kind of get offended by that.
Trevor Leahy.
Disrespectful.
We're talking about
Yes,
eternal
Trevor
truth
Leahy.
tonight, Trevor. How would you like
Eternal
to contribute
truth,
to our
okay.
conversation?
Do you know what DMT is?
That is dimethyltrimethite.
Tryptamine.
No,
And it's
Yeah.
it's a drug
I'm like
that people
actually
use. It's the same thing
Yep.
like marijuana smoking. So I'm writing a book right now. And,
Demons.
And I've been studying, there's
Okay.
links between drugs and PEG cycle.
Okay.
Or the PEG cycle as we call it. And I've read about this, and yes, it's just like marijuana, except instead of just putting yourself into a state where you're just receiving Lucifer's voice, you're thrust into a completely fake universe where there's machine elves, there's gnomes running around, bouncing around you, and basically you feel super profound.
I thought gnomes didn't exist.
They don't exist.
Gnomes
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But then how can you see the gnomes if they don't exist?
Because it's an illusion in your brain. Just like I can imagine right now that you are actually just the tea kettle from Beauty and the Beast talking to me on the phone right now.
The chip tea kettle?
No, that's the
Saying
cup. I'm talking about
broken?
the full
Are you saying I'm broken?
the full load, the full tea, the big mama.
I love the full load.
Well,
Sometimes
wonderful,
I have
but
full loads on my chest, but that's usually only when my uncle's over.
I don't.
I don't like this conversation, caller. Let's
It's
turn it
for
around and pick it
Thanksgiving
back
meals.
up.
Well, okay,
During
tea
Thanksgiving?
spilling on your chest. Okay, but
Do you
regardless.
spill his gravy sometimes?
Well, just because I can imagine something doesn't mean it's real, is what I'm saying. And when you're
Hey,
smoking,
I think someone's at my door. Hang
when
on.
you're having a toke of DMT, then everything you.
Shit!
Hang up. Hang up. Dude, where's the mouse? Where's the mouse? Brett, where's
He's
the
gone.
mouse? Oh.
I don't know why you move the mouse. Like, just leave it on the mouse pad, but you always feel you're always fiddling with it, and you.
I am not always fiddling with the mouse.
Then how come when we need it?
That was the first time.
It's under the computer.
Hello, caller. You're on the air with C. Kimball.
And B. Call. Welcome to Mormon Talk.
Hello. This is about inner truth.
Okay. Well, wonderful. It's great. Let's have it.
How would you define inner truth?
I am homosexual, and I just want to know, how can I get over this? Because it really, I'm struggling. You know, I feel a lot of tendencies towards boys. I just want to get over it. Please help me.
Prayer is the first step.
And you know, I don't think it's like a matter of getting over something. I think it's a matter of learning how to cope with something. And sometimes you can get over some things, but sometimes you get under it too, and you don't feel like you're going anywhere. But you know what? You're not alone, and let's just say there's someone that's. No, actually, I won't say that. But you know what, caller? It's Brett and I, because we are not of the homosexual
orientation.
Because we are not and have never partaken in that. I don't know if we are in the best position to be able to answer your question.
But
I really appreciate it, guys. You guys are faggots. Fuck you, retards.
Hello, caller. Let's talk about truth.
I really appreciate it, guys.
Truth of the matter is you're...
Hello?
Hello? You're live on the air.
Hi. So I just want to say, like, I've been, like, really trying to get into my faith recently, and I just, like, want to know, like, what I can do to, like, make my faith, like, more better.
Okay, well, like we've been talking... Okay, one more thing. Sorry, before I start, have you called in earlier?
No, I have not.
Okay, great. So, like we were... Are you okay, Brett? Like we were saying, you have to attain true principles. Like, read the scriptures. Do you own a copy of the Bible or the Book of Mormon? Read that. Read those until something pops out at you and strikes you as, this is something I could do to be better. And then, to the best of your ability, try to live that principle that popped out to you. And do so prayerfully. Like, ask your Heavenly Father to help you understand so that you can act properly in accordance to that principle. And if you will do that, you'll become better.
Thank you for that. I just want to say, like, there's this, like, really good movie I watched. It was called 365 Days, and it was just, like, really good, and I really think you guys should check it out.
Okay. Is it family friendly?
Yes, it's about Mormons, and, like, they're trying to find their faith from Satanism, so they try to turn to Mormon.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound like the church made it, so I don't know if I can recommend that to anyone. But nevertheless, thank you for calling, and we're glad we could help.
Yes. Have a great night, caller.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Hello, caller. You're on the air with C. Kimball.
And B. Call. Welcome to Mormon Talk.
Yeah, I just want to say if there's any fat booty black girls who want to hit.
Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson Kimball.
And Brett O'Call. Welcome to Mormon Talk.
Hello. This is Carl.
Hello, and welcome to the show, Carl, and welcome to the discussion about
You
eternal
just
truth.
called. How did you get in again? How
I
do you
was wondering how what Mormonism is based on.
What it's based on the gospel of Jesus Christ. It's based on. Pardon me.
What's it like it about though? Like I'm new to the form. I was previously Christian. I'm looking for a new religion to join. I was just wondering like what's this based on.
Well, if you don't want Christianity, you've come to the wrong religion. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson O'Kimball.
And Brett O'Call. Welcome to Mormon Talk.
Hello. This is about the weed girl, and I just want to say, don't give into it. It's not good for you. You know, it's not going to help you find that internal truth. But I also have a question, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely. Go ahead, caller, and thank you for that.
Do you, as the Mormon Church, how do you guys suggest, do you guys have any programs that will help people recuperate from addiction or any struggles like that?
Absolutely. There. If you want to join up, you can go call up the church. Just look up your local, LDS church and call up and ask if you can maybe talk to the bishop there, and ask them, hey, is there any sort of program? Let's say you're addicted to toking weed, okay, and ask them if there's a program you can join. There are definitely 12-step programs if you're addicted to pee, or if you're addicted to toking weed, or if you're addicted to other things. There are people there to help, and you're not alone in your struggle.
I really appreciate it. I found this one place. I tried it out for a little bit. It's called Ram Ranch. Ram Ranch really helped me straighten up. Okay? Appreciate it.
Yes, we've actually...
retard.
Well, we've actually heard about Ram Ranch. That's where one of our viewers lied about, but allegedly went to straighten out, and that's where Spanky went for a few nights, it sounds, and it sounds like he's going back there. So before that man was vulgar.
Anyways, my TikTok is radio call if you're a black booty bitch.
This is not a place for soliciting, and especially nothing like that.
This is Trevor Leahy calling back after you hung up on me.
Well, we're going to hang up again, sir.
Hello, caller. You're on the air with Carson O'Kimball.
And Brett O'Call. Welcome to Mormon Talk.
And probably the last call of the night.
Yes.
Welcome to our discussion about truth.
Oh. How do you guys think that, as like a church and as like a person, how do you guys think we can handle the pornography, adult films? How do you think we can stop children from getting?
Well, there needs to be web blocks that you can purchase. There's one that we are actually that was going to sponsor the show until all the filth calls came in, and it's called Covenant Eyes. And you can download the program, and it'll stop. If anyone on your network tries to access P, it'll stop them, and it'll alert the phone, your phone, and say, hey, listen, this device in this room, someone is trying to access P. And so you'll see, that alert on your phone, and you can go apprehend them and go, confront them and help them to stop watching P.
Thank you. I appreciate it, because I feel like, I don't know if my son might watch it. I don't know, but I will definitely look into that. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much.
It's a helpful tool.
Penis, 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 penis.
Well, that was a fantastic capstone on the end of the night here. I hated that. I absolutely hated that. I wanted to have a serious discussion. So, we put in so much thought and so much effort whenever we bring up one of these topics. We do our due diligence to bring up whatever relevant scriptures, doctrine, anything that we can to have a serious discussion with people. We put in so much time and effort, and even just thinking about what to talk about. What we haven't talked about before and what we need to talk about or refresh upon. We put in so much time and effort into this, and we want to have a serious discussion. I think we had one person that actually knows what the word truth even means that called up, because everyone here was so insincere. Everyone that called up was so vulgar, and they tried to dissuade us by they tried to get us to put our guard down so they could slip through the cracks and Trojan horse us and get them to say awful things on our program for all the families and young people that shouldn't be watching. Thanks. Gosh, guys, come on. Like, when are you going to take us seriously? Look me in my eyes right now and tell me that you're not going to take me seriously, because I am sick of it. I am seriously sick of you just handling us like this. Carson's a strong guy. Carson's one of the toughest people I know, and he would never, show how hurt he is inside. He would never let that show to the people, especially the jokesters that are pranking him. But it's getting harder and harder every single time. We're just sitting here trying to have a real discussion about truth, and you guys are all ambassadors of Satan, as far as I'm concerned. The adversary is working through so many of you, and the funny thing is you think you're enlightened. You think that you are smarter than us, and you think you're so funny. But you're an ambassador of Satan. You're Satan's mouthpiece when you call into the show and you're splashing. I hate it.
Picture it like this, okay? You have a nice, clean living room that you always keep clean, and you want, that's where you dwell, And then someone breaks a hole into your wall, okay, and feeds a giant industrial pipe through it and sprays sewage, okay? That is what you are doing, not only to Brett and I, directly at us, but to countless families that have children that watch, okay? And, it's not like you can just forget some of the stuff that you hear, too. Some of the stuff I've heard on this show,
it's Satan's sewage.
Have kept me up at night and made me think about things I never wanted to. Some of the stuff that you I don't even know if I can just call you kids come up with, or teens, or whatever. All this youths. It's just absolute. Where do you come up with this stuff? Where do you hear about this? Satan, exactly. And you wanna bring up toking weed? Well, guess what? There you go. You toke weed. These types of thoughts while you're high are gonna just come into you like a sewage pipe straight from the adversary. Okay? And you're gonna, with your mouth wide open, take it all in. Okay? And you know what? With that, I don't know what to say.
Thank you for watching Mormon Talk. Please follow us and enable notifications to be alerted when we're on the air next. God be with you till we meet again.
Till we meet, till we meet.
We're tired of your preaching. Go home. Take your lies somewhere.
Thank you for watching Mormon Talk. Please follow us and enable notifications to be alerted when we're on the air next. God be with you till we meet again.
Till we meet, till we meet, till we meet at Jesus' feet. Till we meet, till we meet. God be with you till we meet.
I could never imagine someone my age when I was in school. That kid must have been
10. Our graduating class. I don't think there was a single person that smoked weed in our graduating class.
With you till we meet.
And now, today,
till we meet, till we meet, till we meet at Jesus' feet.
Because I'm trying to get high.
Till we meet.
I've been approached by children for weed. You know, I'm starting to
you
think,
don't even look like someone who'd be carrying weed on you. Like, that's ridiculous. Just the fact that kids are so comfortable with that. Coming up to a grown-up and
It's
saying,
like-
do you have weed for me?
It's like, they don't even have any money. They're just expecting me to give them weed.
Yeah,
and two,
entitlement. It's
they're-
entitlement.
It's like, what? You have no fear of the cops, of repercussions? Are the cops not even enforcing this anymore? Why are these kids able to just walk around unfettered, high on marijuana, asking strangers for marijuana, and then they just go home to their families and everything's fine? And
I'm at a loss for words.
I'm gonna go spank